when did you have your first fight?
1979 was my first fight in Kentucky for the Kentucky State title. And then after that, I, demolished the guy and said, oh, I saw Richard Jackson and Howard Jackson fighting on ESPN and thought, oh, I want to do that. Ooh, yeah, I think I can do that. So I moved to Atlanta and I got involved with Joe Corley's, Joe and Asa and started fighting. Right. Yeah.
Asa Gordon. Asa Gordon. He cornered me on my first fight, which was in Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Grady Cole Center back in 1977.
Wow. You said 77. Oh.
Jerry Piddington was the promoter, and Jeff Smith fought on that card. I forget who he fought. I can't remember who he fought, but I was one of the Ammies on that card.
I fought because I was angry. I was angry, and I had some issues, and I fought because I wanted to just get it all out, and thank God I did.
And you fought like that too.
What's that?
You fought like that.
Yeah.
You were hands and feet. You were doing stuff that people today go, wow, where is that at?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was a crazy time. I mean, I had probably more fights in the nightclubs than I had in the boxing ring. You
didn't make the money doing that though.
I know, but it was so satisfying. Yeah. And it was so stupid. So any kids watching this, don't do stupid stuff like that. Yes. But he's
a bad dude when he goes out and takes his mouthpiece with him. He's a bad dude then. When he goes out on dates, he still sticks his mouthpiece in his pocket.
Oh, I'm going to use that as a character in the movie, man. That is funny. Oh, shit. Yeah. No, yeah. After the last fight with Curtis Bush, we fought to a draw, 12 rounds to a draw. And even though I knocked him down twice, I thought I won. But, and I love Curtis Bush. What an amazing fighter he was.
Yeah, Curtis Bush, yeah.
Yeah, and then I got into some bad shit, got into drugs, and moved in. You guys know Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple, Black Sabbath?
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved in with Glenn, and I moved in as a personal trainer and as a bodyguard, and which was great for a while. And then we became best friends and hangout buddies, and we went from training and to partying, and we partied. I had a drug overdose, and then I hitchhiked to Florida, and it was you know the Florida Turnpike, Alligator Alley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, 3 o'clock in the morning, I had an epiphany. The epiphany was sell everything I owned, go to Hollywood, be in the movies. And it was like I was praying, I was crying. 3 o'clock in the morning, I was the only one on the road, and I'm going, what the hell am I going to do? If I stay in Atlanta, I'm going to die. And it was just crazy. And I got back to Atlanta, sold everything I owned. And it was the people I started surrounding myself with. And you know what? You could have the strongest discipline in the world, but you always got to be on top of your game. You always, because anyone can be slightly led down that wrong path. And I was, and it was the people I started hanging out with. And they say, show me your crowd and I'll show your future. My crowd were drug dealers, mob bosses, rock and roll stars. And I was like, what? And so I sold everything I owned, moved to California, and I was like, oh my God, I'm in a whole new ball game now, man.
So how did you, where did you go? How did you get started? You just packed up and went? And
I packed up, me and a buddy of mine who was a rock and roll singer, we packed up, moved to California. And we just, he was going to be a rock and roll star, and later he overdosed on heroin, and he was 3 days away from signing a multi-million-dollar record deal with Capitol Records. So he continued the drug shit when he got there, and I got my shit straight, got clean, started hanging out with the right people, and I said, fuck, man, I got to make money. What am I going to do? I can't, we only went out there with $750 between the both of us. And I said, well, and I opened up the yellow pages and started looking through, and I went karate school. I can teach karate school. And I saw a Chuck Norris studio. And I don't know if Rick Prieto.
Who?
Rick Prieto. It was one of Chuck's students, but Chuck had a school out in Studio City, California. I went in there and they said, come in, teach a class. I taught a class. They said, wow. They said, yes, we will hire you. And there just happened to be a manager there. And he goes, hey, I understand you moved out here from Atlanta looking to be an actor. I said, yes, sir. And I said, and he goes, well, I'm a manager looking for an actor. And I said, well, I'm an actor looking for a manager. So we signed, and then I had never been in an acting class, I was new to the business. And then he sent me on my first 2 auditions. My first one was with Jet Li from The Master. That was my first film I booked. I was the lead villain. The second one was with Bolo Young and Jonathan Key Kwan, Breathing Fire. And it was funny because, they says, here's your audition. And I did the audition. And then they said, okay, let's scoot the chairs and tables out of the way. Let's see some of your martial arts ability. And I went, yes. And after that, I went, I got this. And I just started bang, 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 jumping, spinning, flying, bang, chi, jumping. And I was doing all this crazy shit right in the middle. And they were like, okay. And then I get a call in the same week that I booked my first 2 auditions ever. And then after that, from that moment on, since 1990, I have been working every year, but this year, but 2020, that was the first year. I've never worked as an actor, and I've been blessed. So now, and then getting involved with the boys club, I share my story, and I travel around sharing my story of, don't do the stupid stuff. And I don't care who you are, how strong you think you are. You can get wrapped up into the wrong people just like that, man. You can be sucked in. So you always got to be on your game, and you always got to be working on yourself constantly. And that's what I stopped working on myself, and I got out of touch. And yeah, I was crazy. But I had batting heads with Joe Corley all the time, and it's like, oh yeah. But we laugh about it now. We laugh about it, and if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be where I was today in the fight game. So I give credit to Joe, and bygones be bygones.
Jerry Trimble.
Yeah, Jerry Trimble was a bad motherfucker.
Golden Boy. That's what they call Atlanta's Jerry Trimble.
He hails from